right from on paper standpoint, Hannah should beat easily.
Yeah.
But as I said before, easily for whatever reason always seems to give Hannah problems. It's been that way for at least the last 10 years that I've noticed.
Yeah. I've broadcast a ton of those games, and I've seen this down through one of the first. It was Boys High at the time. One of the first Boys High games I broadcast was at Easley, and the quarterback, Boys High had claimed the state championship the year before. Bob Patton was the coach, and they'd lost a lot of people, and a guy named Billy Dillard was the quarterback for, that's the same Billy Dillard of the Sporting Goods family. He was the quarterback, and a guy named Jackie Sewell played. They were all tiny guys, and weighed about 130 pounds apiece. And Jackie Sewell, if my memory serves now, remember, 59, they had a chance to kick a field goal, which they didn't do much of that back in those days. And the team gathered around and took off their helmets and said a little prayer. And Jackie kicked the field goal. And that's the way I remember it. And they won. And I was so excited I thought I was going to jump out of the booth. It was my first year broadcasting. And it was not my first game. It was about my third game. And I was 21 years old. But it was just a fabulous thing. Then, to tell you, of course, Billy Dillard went on, and he has sons played and all these things, just wonderful people. And Jackie Sewell went into heavy in golf, played at South Carolina, and has a son named Jay, who has won at least one and possibly two national championships as the golf coach at Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good.
That's one of my rambling things, Lake.
I get last thing for any of the listeners that are wondering, since we are recording this on a Tuesday, the Sports Writers Top 10 poll for the high school classifications, that has not been released yet. That will be released probably later this evening or early Wednesday morning.
Okay.
So we do not have that. We do have my poll if you'd like to hear
Love
that.
to hear it. Yes.
Like I said, these are not the official rankings coming into this week. This is my poll that I submitted. Again, I keep Spartanburg number 1 in Class 4A. Hillcrest I have at number 3, where they were last week. Westside I have at number 6.
Who you got at number 2? Burns?
Burns, yes.
Okay.
Burns.
All right.
Only real change was I moved Lexington to number 9 and put in Ashley Ridge at number 10. We had a team in top 10 last week, Greenwood. They lost again, so I had to drop them out.
Oh, yeah. Right.
For Class 3A, not much change there. Hartsville stays number 1 for me, South Point 2, Greer 3. Seneca comes in at 4, BHP at 6. I did move Hilton Head Island from 10 to 9 because Myrtle Beach lost last week.
Yeah, they did. And
second loss this year.
Yeah.
So I had to drop them out with my schematic that I use. So I put in Lake City at number 10. We'll see if they're in the official poll or not. But I will be surprised if Myrtle Beach pops up in the top 10 again this week after losing 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
They lost to Carolina Forest, by the way.
And normally they aren't real strong.
No, Myrtle Beach has typically handled Carolina Forest, so this is a surprising year for Myrtle Beach.
It is, yeah.
Moving down to 2A, of course, I keep Dillon at number 1, Batesburg, Leesville at 2, Newberry at 3, Abbeville at 4. We did have some movement there, not much. I moved Pendleton to number 9. Strom Thurmond moves up to 6. Woodruff at 7, so could possibly see a 9 versus 7 matchup there for Pendleton Woodruff this week. Should be a good game there. The only change I have is I put Chesterfield in at number 10. We had a 2A school drop out. Can't remember the name, though. Tell the truth.
Okay.
And then, finally, in Class A, I had McBee at number 1, Bamberg Earhart at 2, Christchurch at 3, Allendale.
You're one of those guys kind of reluctant to vote for Christchurch, aren't you?
No, I'm one of those people. If you win,
but the catering, the recruiting situation, I think affects a lot of guys.
Well,
in
since they're a private school, and since they did play when they played a public school like Abbeville and got
yeah,
beaten down.
Pretty good,
I
huh?
did drop them a little bit, but
I understand.
since McBee and Bamberg Earhart have not lost yet, I don't really want to move Christchurch up.
Sure, I understand. All that gets settled in the end.
One change I did, school by the name of Murray. I believe it's C.E. Murray down in the Midlands. I moved them from unranked to number 8. They're 5-0 on the year. Figured they needed to be up there a little bit. Williston Elko I have at 9. And also squeezing in at the top 10 this week for me, Southside Christian comes in at number 10 there. I believe they are 4-1 heading into this week, have not been ranked. So I think it was time we probably put them in there because there are some other single A schools that have 3-2 losses. Lamar being one that has 2 losses. I can't quite figure out why they still stay in the poll as high as they are, but I think they're a pretty quality team. But we've had some other teams that have fallen by the wayside. But as you said earlier, all this gets sorted out when we finally get the playoffs.
That's right. Listen, this has been another great high school report from Lake Morris. Lake is the prep reporter for the Anderson Independent Mail, and you can get them online. You can buy them at the store, and you can get them to put it in your driveway. So keep up with the Anderson Independent Mail. I'm Ken Allison for Lake Morris, and we'll see you later on Mostly Sports Talk.